Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome back to Around the Natty. This is episode 22. We're happy
Not to be confused with 21.
We're happy to be back, and we're going to be talking some Reds baseball because baseball has been confirmed to coming back, and I'm jacked up.
Me too. I'm so jacked up. I had to bring my Around the Natty podcast.
Yo,
let's
look
Tumblr.
Look at that logo.
And in case you forgot my name, it's Logan.
I'm Andrew. That's me.
And this is Around the Natty.
Around the Natty. Let's take a sip. Cheers.
Oh,
Only
man.
two of them in existence. You can only dream to get those. But let's dive right into sports here. We got a lot to talk about. The league and the Players Association agreed to a 60-game season with spring training starting July 1st. That's huge. That's right around the corner. That's within a week. And we get baseball back. Did you hear if they're televising spring training at all?
I can't imagine they wouldn't. I feel like that at this point they need all the revenue they can get. But I have not heard officially whether they are or are not. But like I said, I really would doubt that they wouldn't, being that they were losing so much revenue from obviously not being able to have fans in, at least initially. Although, interestingly enough, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but Louisville City, the soccer team in Louisville, they're opening up, and they're opening up with fans right away. Yeah, apparently they're allowing fans. It's not full capacity, obviously, but. And then the Kentucky Derby, which is in September, they're allowing fans as well.
Dude, the Kentucky Derby gets super packed, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of potential ability to attend the game, I mean, if those things go mostly well, I mean, those are good signs. I'd say bad sign.
That's my vibe right now.
Say it again.
I don't know if that's my vibe right now. I don't want to catch the COVID.
Oh, I mean, I agree. I'm not going out right now either. I actually went to a restaurant for the first time today since March.
Yeah.
And I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah, I went the other day as well. I went down to Bakersfield in OCR
nice.
And had some
Did you go for work?
tacos, which were delicious. I represent Cincinnati well. Those were fantastic.
Yeah.
But let's dive right into it.
Let's do it.
Baseball is back, man. We can discuss a lot of things. We can discuss the rule changes that the league and the Players Association agreed to. We got the universal DH. We got the runner on second rule for extra innings. But let's start and let's talk about Reds opening day lineup. What do you think we see first game of the season?
What do I think we see, or what would I like to see?
Both.
Well, first of all, I think a lot of it depends on the health of Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah.
I think that if he's let's operate under the assumption that he's ready to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the lineup.
By the way, for those of you who aren't aware, Suarez did hurt his elbow, I believe, in a pool. He had surgery on it. It feels like years ago that happened, but they were optimistic about it. Logan was very pessimistic about it. That's his superpower, that he was going to be able to start the season. And I mean, hell, it's mid-season pretty much. So we'll see. So go ahead.
I think that the lineup should look. I think it should look something like this. Leading off, Shogo.
Mm-hmm.
Batting second, Joey Votto. Batting third, Moose. Batting fourth, Gino. Batting fifth, Castellanos. Batting sixth, Senzel. Um, batting seventh. Man, it really just depends on who the hot hand is at the time. I guess probably you probably throw Jesse Winker in there.
What about
Um,
Galvis?
well, I was gonna put Galvis more at like the 8 spot and then have Tucker at 9.
You're gonna have Galvis in the 8 spot?
Yep.
Hmm. I'd have Galvis over Winker.
You put him at 7.
Hmm.
See, I think that Winker gives you more pop, and so
Yeah, but he also hasn't had the opportunity to. I believe hit righties. They take him out every time.
Honestly, I would like to see what happens with Aristides Aquino and see if he can even put together a semblance of what because then that's a great DH option.
Yeah,
and
he's a good outfielder though.
I mean, yeah, I think that in terms of defense, like there's not any of our outfielders who really stand out defensively. They're all very serviceable, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think that Castellanos is the biggest if.
Right. I mean, and you know what? The nice thing about having the DH this year is that gives you some wiggle room. And I think that if we had excess anywhere, it was the outfield.
100%.
And so the nice thing with the expanded rosters will be being able to have some flexibility there. Yeah. And obviously, like I said, with the DH, obviously you can kind of go with the hot hand time. I mean, because even utility guys like Derek Dietrich and Kyle Farmer were able to contribute at different parts last season when they had to. And that's one thing too I'm really confident in is, let's say for some reason Gino's not ready to start the season, I think that you can easily plug in a Derek Dietrich or a Kyle Farmer and be okay. Did you know that Alex Blandino is still on our system?
Yeah, he's one of our top prospects for the past several years. The reason we've seen him is because we've been so terrible that they've said, screw it, let's get him some time. He's still one of our top. I think he is our top since Senzel got called up. But he's shown some flashes, but he hasn't shown me anything that's made me super excited to bring him up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Jonathan India I would have been interested to see how Jonathan India would have done this year had they actually had a minor league season. Yeah. And that's something that I really think is a shame about not like that being canceled is you miss out a year of growth for guys like him and Hunter Green and guys that you really, this would have been especially for Jonathan India, a big identifier year where you got an idea of what was going to look like and what was going to happen. But okay, so that's my lineup 1 through 9. What's your lineup like?
I think you have to lead off with Shogo.
I mean, you brought him in. That's what you paid him all the money for, is to be the leader guy.
To be a consistent hitter in the front of the lineup. That's what happened when we signed Chu as well. I agree with Votto at 2. I think that's more than reasonable. Who'd you put at 3?
Moose.
I think maybe I don't want to put Galvis too high.
Galvis is definitely a 6 through 9 hitter, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Moustakas. To be honest, I feel like you hit it on the head. I may actually switch Moustakas and Castellanos simply because that Castellanos has hits for doubles
contact.
and contact, and Moose is a little bit more of a power hitter. But
go ahead. Sorry.
I think your list is pretty accurate. I think towards the bottom of the lineup, you have a little bit of flexibility there.
Yeah.
With Galvis and Winker and Aquino and things like that.
Well, you brought up the contact, and so I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and talk about one of the rule changes and something that I'm really excited about this year. is with the extra innings. They're going to start off with a runner on second. And I think that in doing so, you may see an increase in small ball, at least in extra innings. And I think that part of the problem of extra innings, whenever, teams are going, sometimes 15, 16 innings, part of the problem and part of the reason why is because everyone's swinging for the fences, man, in those innings. Yeah. Whereas now you got someone on second, starting right off the bat. Maybe you see a little more small ball. Maybe you see some more movement. That's what I think baseball is missing. I don't think that it's the dominant pitching or the lack of long ball. I think it's the lack of movement. I think the more we have runners on base, I think the more contact you have, the more strategy you have, the better off. And if you have, when you're able to get runners on base and play that small ball, you can neutralize the shifts. And the shifts are also a big part of the reason why you're seeing such dominance.
Here's what bothers me, though, right? Here's what bothers me. With this rule, all it takes to win the game is a bunt, and a sacrifice fly.
Well, that's good because no one can bunt. So,
I mean, there's some people who can bunt. If you got somebody who can bunt, dude.
99% of the league can't bunt.
Huh?
99% of the league does not know how to bunt.
I think you can get a bunt down to get a person from second to third.
No one bunts anymore because according to the analytics, it's a waste of a play.
Whatever, dude.
I'm just telling you what people. I wish like hell we could get back to the throwing out a squeeze bunt here and there. But here's my thing though, Gamble is like, okay, so you look at it, and these times where you got games, especially for in years past. The last couple of years, Reds not been competitive, so it's not really mattered. This year, they have a chance to compete. Do you really want to burn through your bullpen? And because sometimes, even if you come out winning a game and you play 18 innings, you're really lost because you're going to be gassed and screwed for the next 2 to 3 games, and you're going to be spending that entire time recovering from the losses as a result.
I mean, listen, man, I'm all for trying new things. The game's definitely dying. It's definitely not doing as well as the other sports leagues. NBA's crushing it. NFL's crushing it. They're just gasping for air, man. They're drowning. So I'm open to try anything. I think this is the perfect time to go ahead and try new things in this shorter season. That's kind of a throwaway season, it feels like. So we'll see. It's one of those things that you're not going to understand how it plays out until you watch it happen and we see what some of these teams are doing.
Okay. So you bring that up. Whoever wins the World Series this year, do you put an asterisk next to that World Series?
No. And here's why. Because if you do that, you're lumping them in with the Houston Astros. You know what I mean? You're lumping them in with the Houston Astros.
Honestly, I feel like we're across the board, man. If you're able to win a championship this year, if you're able to win a world championship this year, regardless of the sport,
right?
You've earned it. You freaking earned it because it's going to be hell. I don't think people realize. And it's not like the NBA where they're going to put them all in a bubble. They're going to live their regular lives.
Yeah.
They're going to face some challenges. As a result, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough on them. And like I said, I feel like whoever comes out on the other side, regardless of that's the NBA, the MLB, or even MLS. I mean, again, I feel like you can't even with the shortened season, like you gotta give due respect,
Yeah, I think that asterisk is a derogatory mark. Like to put that on somebody's franchise for something outside of their control, like that doesn't. I don't think that sits right with me. I don't think that sits right with a lot of the league.
Right. It should. To your point, I feel like it should be reserved for those rare instances where teams are caught doing things that are unbecoming to the league. Whether that's the Astros, which, by the way, what a pass the Astros have gotten. What a pass.
Man, we could argue about that all day. But
they've gotten because with COVID-19 going on, that was the story going into the MLB season.
Oh, yeah.
That was the story, and they have gotten off so easy, man. Yeah. And you know what? I'm really sad that we won't be able to see crowd reactions to when they get drilled
Well, they
Man, I
were
just
in
or,
preseason,
right,
spring
right,
training, which was
no,
cool. Altuve
right.
got
People were
paused.
heckling them to hell and back. It was great.
Most of the bunch is Bregman. He can go to hell. I can't stand him. Well, let's while we're on the topic, let's talk about the other rule change. We got the universal DH. I know you've been a really big proponent of this rule and getting it in the National League for a long time. So I'm gonna let you lead it off. Why do you want the DH in the league?
So one, I think it just evens the playing field. I think that one of the things that's a struggle for National League teams once they get to the World Series or even interleague play is that structurally and organizationally, National League teams aren't built to accommodate a DH. Um, I also think that the DH is good for players, and I'm pro player. I think that the DH allows for it. It brings greater opportunity for value to players. Perhaps they're an aging player or a player like a Prince Fielder or a Big Poppy who athletically had never really had it, but were able to still remain relevant. And honestly, I mean, think about baseball in the 2010s without David Ortiz. Without the DH, I don't know that you really have that. And
I mean, your argument though, Prince Fielder played first base for a long time.
right, but like a complete liability athletically would have far been better served to have someone else in there who and allowed him to play in the DH spot. And outside of the very few pitchers who take pride in actually swinging the bat, it's ugly to watch. The double switches are cool, and that strategy to me has always been fun. But now with the way analytics are and the way things are going, like that's becoming less and less relevant, anyways. And honestly, I want to see part of it. Like there's a trend, and I believe that it's correlative. The American League pitchers, the starting pitchers, go further into games because they aren't going up and swinging the bat every 3 innings. That matters. That really does take a certain level of wear and tear and additional exertion. And I want my guys, especially the Reds fan. If you're a Reds fan, you want to see these guys who you've spent a lot of money on or invested time in or assets. You want to see them go 7, 8 innings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the DH is going to help increase the ability to do that. I think it's going to help bring more relevancy and more vindication to the talent level. Like Luis Castillo should be looked upon by the league as a top 10 pitcher, and because regrettably of multiple things, he's not. But I think that this is going to help people like him and players in that position to kind of solidify their footstool and assert their value. And then on the other side of the ball, like I said, I think that it allows for the expansion of value for guys who can really just lay the lumber, but aren't too limber. I mean, they lack the limber, but they bring the lumber.
Yeah, I saw this rule, man. It bums me out.
Well, because it's not. I know it's not guaranteed, but it's once they have it, it ain't going away. I can almost guarantee you that.
It bums me out, and part of the reason that bums me out is because it came about during this shortened season, so it's like we didn't even get like a transfer period. They just kind of slapped it on us like a Band-Aid.
It's only 60 games, so it's kind of is a transfer period.
I know, but it's like it just doesn't feel right. But I know it's going to be advantageous for the Reds in particular, who have a lot of really good bats on the bench. And it's always nice to get an extra spot in the lineup for them to bat. But for me, I really love the strategy of it. I loved kind of planning for that. I think all your points are valid, and I think those all can be true. It's going to take some time for me to get used to it, and
but for me this year too, you had to do it because you've got you're going to be the NL Central, AL Central. Yeah, I mean, to even the playing field, you had to do it this year.
Yeah, I get it for this season, but I know they say they haven't made a decision on if it's permanent yet, but they've been pushing for this
yeah.
for years. They've been pushing this season after season after season, and I get it. I get it. It's just like it it feels rough to me, and it's going to take some adjusting for me. And I'm sure when we get our pitchers out of the lineup and our DH is slugging homies that I'll get over it. But for now, I'm gonna bitch and moan about it a little bit.
How do you think it affects Michael Lorenzen's status as a two-way player?
I mean, I think you can throw. I think you can. I mean, I don't know if it hurts him. I think.
Here's my question: Can you? I really don't know because I don't think it's ever happened. Can you be the current pitcher and also the designated hitter?
Probably. I don't know if anybody would ever do that. I don't even think the Reds would do that with him.
I don't think so either. But that's one thing I've just never really thought about. That's interesting. I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. We got Michael Lorenzen, who can also play center field. So if they want to give one of those outfielders a rest, I know we have a ton of them, but you can put Nati out there and do it that way. So I
really think he might be the best athlete in that outfield group.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
he's
the guy.
Freak. He's a freak of nature, dude.
I mean, think about it. The guy hasn't played. He's not been a position player for at least 6 years.
Since probably high school.
And he went out there and he made some damn good plays out in center field, man. He was, again, serviceable.
Athlete.
I mean, I really think if he had even if he was just an every third day guy, you would see the skills improve quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
All right, Logan, the time has come. Let's talk Red record predictions.
Oh, God.
What do you think?
Hold on. Let me do some math real quick.
60 games. What do you got, Big Daddy?
I think they win 39 games.
39 games?
Yep.
That's close to what I had. I had them winning 45. Now, here's my question. Do you think either 39 or 45 is enough to win and get in the playoffs?
I think, it's expanded playoffs, don't forget. So right. I think 39, I think that they come in second place in the division and make the playoffs behind the Cardinals.
Okay.
I also think my thing is I think that we really benefit from being matched up against the AL Central.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cubs won't suck. They won't suck. They won't suck.
Since we started getting better in our rebuild, obviously those throwaway years were fine, but I think we play the Cubs generally pretty well.
Milwaukee's still going to be very solid.
Mm-hmm. They're getting worse.
I would agree, and I would even argue that St. Louis is not. They certainly didn't improve. I think they kind of stayed stagnant.
They're a good team. They got a nice young pitching staff.
Very solid. Very solid all the way through. They're deep.
I still think we got the best pitching staff in our division, maybe even in the NL.
I really think it depends on what version of everyone you get.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I hope we get Lewis back the way we got him. I hope we get Bauer back on track. Yeah,
do you get the Wade Miley that won 16 games? If Wade Miley's winning, if he can get 16 wins, obviously this year it won't be as many because we're not playing a full season, but whatever that would be.
You get him on pace there.
Yeah, if you had him on pace to win 16 games in 162. Now, the other big question I have is, what does Joey Votto look like this year, man? That's going to be because he'll admit to, I'm sure he would admit to it. I think he went on the Jim Day podcast and it came out and he's not been playing to Joey Votto standards, and I think it's mostly age, and I think unfortunately it's kind of where he's at.
Yeah.
At least the power numbers, I don't know that they'll improve too much, but what I really like to see is just more contact.
At the plate.
Yeah, I just want to see him make some more contact, more discipline at the plate. Getting back to being Joey Votto. I don't need you to hit 25, 30 anymore. If you can give me 12 like you did 3 years ago. Awesome.
Right.
I'll take that. Solid on base guy. Let the young guys do the heavy lifting for you.
Let Suarez take care of that.
Yeah, you be limber, they'll bring the lumber.
God,
Sorry, I just really like
yeah.
that. I like that.
I think he's one of those guys that can analyze his game and takes criticism really well and makes adjustments. So I think that'll be really good. But do you think 45 is unreasonable?
Man, to only lose 15 games.
39.
To only lose 15 games, man. I don't know.
I mean,
That's
think
tough.
about it. We got to play the Twins twice.
I picked 39 games because there was a stretch 2 seasons ago where they went on a 635 over a 60 game span. They went on a 635 win percentage,
yeah.
And that's kind of what I think that's kind of where their peak is.
Man, I see that we can hit 45. I don't think that's an unreasonable guess. I think we got a top pitching staff in the NL. I think we can get some of those bats going. I think that was our big problem last year was we couldn't get bats going. I think we brought some people who are going to add some excitement. It looks like the team has a lot of fire. They're coming together. They're realizing. I think the big thing is kind of like emotion. I have a feeling that they know they're going to be good soon. And I think that's going to help tremendously. So I think that that 45 is achievable. And, we got to make a bet. We'll save it up till next episode, but we got to make a bet for a case of beer this year also.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. I'm always down to win some more bets. I like doing that.
But my final question to you, Logan, is is this year World Series or bust for you? I know the Reds have a small window, but in your mind, do you think if they don't win it here, then it's restart?
So here's my thing: you've been next to the carpet of the division. Or the last in the division. You've been in one of the 10 worst.
We've been taking turns with the Pirates.
You've been one of the 10 worst baseball teams in the league for the last 4 years. Yeah. I think that would be unfair to say World Series or bust. I definitely think with the expanded playoffs, if you don't make the playoffs this year, it's a failure.
Yeah.
It's a failure, 100%. I think you have to make the playoffs. You have to find a way to make it happen, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
World Series, baby. Are you making some trivia for me, Big Daddy?
I'll say I've got some trivia lined up if you're ready. It's gonna be it's gonna be pretty easy this week. So,
way to set me up to look stupid.
You should get some.
Let me turn this up a little bit. I should get some.
You should get some of these for sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's all Reds. All right,
okay.
It's all Reds.
Okay.
It's all batting related or offense related.
How recent are we talking?
All time franchise records.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'll give you the hardest one first.
Hit me.
Who is the Reds' franchise leader and wins above replacement for position players?
Four position players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you give me a time period? You can give me a decade gap.
They played across many decades.
That didn't help me at all.
I'll tell you, none of these.
Larkin.
No, it was actually Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. His one above the replacement was 78.1.
Back then.
Yeah, they go back and backtrack these.
What?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
They didn't even have that stat, dude.
Sorry.
This is ridiculous. This is a rigged election. I blame Russia.
Okay. Alrighty.
Hit me.
All right. Can you name any of the top 5 leaders in on-base percentage?
Joey Votto.
He's number 1.
Oh, you said, can I name any?
Yeah.
I named one right off the rip, dog.
Yeah. That's very good.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose is not.
Really?
Oh, sorry. I lied. He's tied for number 8. I lied. I apologize. Because
Okay.
I was surprised myself.
That's kind of low. I think that's kind of low.
Yeah. The order goes 1, Joey Votto, 2, Joe Morgan, 3, Johnny Bates, 4, Dummy Hoy, 5,
Bates.
Frank Robinson, 6, Mike Smith, 7, Adam Dunn.
What?
Swear.
He's above Pete Rose?
Yes.
Shut the hell up,
by
dude.
0.001%.
No way.
On base percentage.
No way.
Yep.
That's craziness.
He used to get walked a lot, man.
No, he also struck out more than anybody in the league every
That's
year
fair.
he was here.
That's fair.
I got that one. I got a couple out of that one. I got 3, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. This is actually probably the toughest one you'll have all day.
Oh God.
Can you name the Reds' franchise leader in batting average?
In batting average. Joe Morgan.
That is incorrect. He is not even in the top 10.
I don't know. I know Joey Votto's up there.
Joey Votto is tied for 10.
He's tied for 10?
Correct.
Holy shit. We have so many good players.
You won't get this one. You want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Cy Seymour.
Who the fuck is that
Cy
guy?
Seymour.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah, Cy Seymour.
Do you know who that is?
He played center field and pitched. He
so he's from like the 1919 or something.
He was a rookie in 1896 and played in 1910.
Oh my God.
He played for the Reds through the 1903 through 1906 seasons.
There's no way I was ever going to get that.
Lots of size back then. Interesting. I guess it's a popular name at the time. Okay. Last couple here. All right.
Rapid fire 'em.
All right. Franchise leader in home runs.
With the Reds or overall?
Reds franchise leader. So they had to hit these as Reds.
Johnny
Bench with 389. And franchise leader in strikeouts.
Adam Dunn.
Incorrect. Not even just kidding. He is top 5. I was gonna say I thought he was top 10, not top 5.
In strikeouts. It's gotta be somebody who's here for a long time. Could be Joey Votto, I don't know.
It is Joseph Votto.
Is it?
With 1311.
I think it's just because he's been here a long time.
Yeah. It's easy to forget how long he's been here. Sorry, I think this is interesting. Let's read it off real quick. Number 1 is Joey Votto. 2 is Tony Perez. 3 is Johnny Bench. 4 is Adam Dunn. 5 is Jay Bruce. 6 is David Concepcion. 7 is Peter Rose. 8 is Brandon Phillips. 9 is Jorge Foster. And 10 is Eric Davis. Yes, I know it's George Foster, people. Relax.
Oh, I was so confused. I was like, who the hell is Jorge Foster?
Yep. But yeah. So that has been the weekly trivia. Gamble did pretty well. You did pretty well this week.
I think I did okay, right?
Yeah, they did all right.
I think I know my Reds a little bit better than I know my Bengals.
Well, because the Reds celebrate their history, whereas the Bengals do not, which we discussed in last week's episode, which you should check out if you haven't already.
Yeah, man. If you guys haven't, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. I haven't cracked that iTunes nut yet. It's a bit of a mystery.
Yeah, we're still trying to bring it to summation, completion,
To climax.
climax. But yeah, no. But isn't that interesting? Before we go, isn't that interesting how I would say in large part you and I are probably both bigger football guys, but we know Reds history better, and
Yeah,
I really do I really do attribute it to the fact that they do celebrate and call back upon their history more than the Bengals. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely way easier to recollect the really good teams that we've had opposed to the really bad Bengals teams that we've had. And I think the Castellinis and the Reds organization in general just does a really good job of recognizing their greats.
Fantastic.
Better than anybody in the league. So
fantastic. Also, I want to just put it out there. The University of Cincinnati, I saw that you're looking to rename your baseball stadium. I am happy to make it the Around the Natty podcast Memorial Fieldhouse Baseball Stadium. We are happy to do that. We will accept season tickets sideline for basketball. And you don't have to throw baseball tickets in for us. You don't have to. We'll pay for those happily. We'll do that, and we'll give out free T-shirts if you want. That's totally fine. But we are happy to go ahead and take that brand. We love all people, and we would be a great ambassador to the university. 100%. So I just want to plug that.
Yeah, tag them.
So. Yes, the new Around the Natty University of Cincinnati baseball stadium.
There you go.
But all right, Gamby, man, I think that's
plug the socials?
Yeah, let's plug some socials and let's get these guys out of here. I'm sure that they've had a long day. And first of all, guys, thanks for listening to us as always. Really appreciate it. It's been a great time. As always, we want to remind you to follow, like, share, interact, love, kiss, lick, whatever you're into us on the social media. To follow Gamble, you can just go to @GirlyHummin.
That's @GirlieHummin.
To follow me, which I don't know why you'd want to, but you certainly can, is @Chow_Logan. And you definitely want to go ahead and follow us on both Twitter and Instagram. The show's Twitter and Instagram are both @around_the_Natty. Guys, as always, it's been fun.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Logan. And we'll catch you around the Natty.
Shut up and sit down.